Highly Strung Hannah by Robert Chantler. This week, Jessica likes jazz.
Well?
Sorry, darling, jazz just isn't for me. It's painful to even watch, let alone listen to. That saxophonist for a start, or that genuflecting and agonised expressions. He looked like he was going to shit himself.
Well, he was just feeling the music. They don't all play that way. Oh, I really would like you to enjoy jazz.
You tricked me into sitting through that Wagner opera telling me I'd like it, and now you've got me again.
Oh well, it's a shame because Shepperton gets a new jazz club at last and we won't be able to enjoy it together.
I'm sure you can find someone else. One of your beardy weirdo ex-colleagues, for instance.
All right, come on darling, let's take you home.
Sorry, darling, my musical tastes are just narrower than yours. It's nearly 11 now. That's the other problem with this jazz club. The gigs all seem to be on Friday nights, and Friday night is Jolly's night.
Well, speaking for myself, I don't think 11 is too late for jollies. The shipping forecast doesn't start till 10 to 1.
It's so sad that if you miss your 10 o'clock bedtime, you feel obliged to wait for the shipping forecast to get you to sleep. You really are one sad middle-aged bastard, aren't you?
Yes, darling, but you love me.
Yeah, and you love me.
More than anything else in the world.
Don't let jazz come between us.
No. Nothing and no one will come between us.
That's good, because my threesome days are over.
Well, that reminds me, I'm interviewing a graduate research assistant on Monday.
Are you?
Yes.
Why?
Well, because the editorship is a big task and having someone to do my preliminary proofreads and fact checks, etc. will help me and free up more of my time for you.
Good. So, who is he?
She.
She?
Yes, Jessica Bourne.
I see.
Apparently she thinks I'm the greatest living academic on the planet.
Well, I'll ring her up now and congratulate her on a new job then.
Come on, Han. You're surely not jealous of some woman you've never even met.
It's not just that, it's Tim. He's been strange lately.
And that differs from what other time?
He took me to this new jazz club in Shepperton on Friday.
Oh no, shall I call social services?
Very funny. It's just, he loved the jazz and I didn't, and today he's interviewing some woman to be his sort of editorial assistant.
Well, I'm sure you won't come home to find them shagging each other on the rug. Just relax.
I need some time off to keep an eye on him.
You remember when you got that crazy idea that Tim was humping Maddie and you got that private detective in?
Yeah?
Well, all they were doing at their secret meetings was planning a big birthday party for you, weren't they?
I suppose.
Tim may be all sorts of things, but he's not the cheating type.
Well, time will tell. She'll be gorgeous, probably.
Well, if she's that gorgeous, she won't be going for Tim, will she?
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, no. I didn't mean your Tim wasn't attractive to women. It's just, well, you know, it's... Fancy a coffee?
Jessica, come through.
Thank you. Well, it's very exciting working with the editor of the world's leading microbiology journal. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that, should I? I mean, I haven't got the job yet, have I?
Oh, it's fine. Please, have a seat.
Thank you. Oh, was that the chair?
Maybe, I don't... It sounds like someone in the hall. Excuse me, I'll just check.
Hello, darling.
What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be at work?
What's wrong? Something to hide?
No, I'm interviewing Jessica.
Oh, it's Jessica now, is it?
You were sneaking around and spying on me, weren't you? You've been hiding the Ottoman since breakfast time, haven't you? So I think you'd gone to work, haven't you?
Maybe.
Is this a bad time?
No, it's fine. My wife is a little bit neurotic and very possessive. Forgive her. She won't do a Glenn Close on you.
Oh, good. Well, hello, Hannah. I'm Jessica Bourne.
Hannah. She likes doing cat impressions too.
Look, Hannah, if I get this job with Tim, it will be strictly a working relationship. Tim's not my type.
There, you see.
You're just saying that. Look how gorgeous you are. How could any man resist? And Tim might not be built like Rambo, but he's got a knob like a...
Hannah?
Yeah, well...
Hannah, I assure you I'm not after Tim.
Oh,
And I'm in a relationship.
okay. Well, I'll have to get to work.
So, what were you doing creeping about outside the door, darling? If you weren't checking up on us?
I was looking for... earwigs.
See you tonight, Poppet. Well, your reference from Professor Jones was excellent, so if you want this position, it's,
What position?
work. Now.
Well, I'd really like to, but I don't want to become between you and your wife.
Oh, that's very sweet, but I promise you won't. Nobody else would put up with her quirks, and most people wouldn't give me a second look in the department, so... We both need each other too much.
I went to that new jazz club in the village on Saturday night. So cool that we have a jazz club in Shepperton.
Oh, what a coincidence. I went there on Friday night. Yes, I thought the jazz was great.
My ex wasn't a jazz fan.
Oh, well, I can sympathise there. I took Hannah along with me and she didn't like it at all.
Well, there, we've got something in common already.
Well, it's a nice setting for when we need a less formal discussion. Beats the coffee shop.
Cool. Just to be clear, though, there is really no chance of any sort of romantic relationship between us. I mean, you're old enough to be my dad for a start.
No, I promise I won't be after a romantic relationship. Despite driving me nuts, I love my Hannah far too much. Nearly 25 years we've been together now, and our son Josh, he's married now. He's about your age. Perhaps if he drops in when you're here, you can meet him.
I told you not to sneak around. I told you you'd get caught.
I think he bought my earwig excuse.
Okay. Anyway, now you've met her.
She's a vixen. Long legs, long hair, perfect skin. Gorgeous, basically. If I was a lesbian, I'd be on her like a shot.
We have nothing to worry about because from what you said, Tim wasn't.
I'm going to look into her.
There's some lesbian roleplay.
On the internet, Karen.
Many years ago, before we knew each other, I thought my Chris was having an affair.
And was he?
Yes.
And that helps me how?
Sorry. Well, we made up and everything, but the fact he strayed doesn't mean Tim will.
He wouldn't dare. Stray males get neutered.
Yes, I think that might be taking your Friday nights a bit too far.
So she's got the job then?
Yes.
Well, surprise, surprise.
Darling, your behaviour towards Jessica this morning was pretty bad. If you make her feel too uncomfortable, she might leave. And from what I've seen in her today, I think that would be a shame.
Well, I don't trust her. Women like that with their long legs and fake tans are always up to something.
You've got long legs and a fake tan.
Yes, but I'm different.
That's true. I reckon she fancies you, you know. She was definitely checking you out as you left the study.
Shut up.
Anyway, settle down to sleep because I need my beauty sleep.
For her.
Good night, Poppet.
Night.
I keep expecting Hannah to pop up from behind the bar, you know.
Of the two of us, I'm the one that does the popping out.
So I gather. You should have been called Jack.
Well, I'm having a great time. It's so nice to share jazz with someone.
Even the barman thought I was your daughter.
Yes, you can't blame him, I suppose.
Are you ever going to tell him I'm not?
Probably not. If I said you were my research assistant, he'd probably be left thinking you were my mistress or something.
Where have you been? Do you know what time it is?
10:30.
Who was that on that motorbike?
Jessica?
It was her, wasn't it? Don't you deny it.
I didn't. I just told you it was Jessica.
The femme fatale. She would have a motorbike, wouldn't she? So she can get all dolled up in the leathers.
We went to the jazz club because we both like jazz and we don't have anyone else to go with. She said you were welcome to join us.
Oh, so she's after me too now, is she? Swings both ways, does she, like that saxophone player? Was he there tonight? Was he still in pain?
No and no. He wasn't in pain. It was just that sort of sax playing.
Hello.
That's a lovely outfit you're wearing.
Thanks.
How'd you get your skin looking so great? What's the secret?
I should be taking tips from you on that. Yours is flawless. Anyway, what's with all the compliments?
Well, you know, I want us to be friends, Hannah. You have the wrong idea about me and Tim. Honest, I'm not interested in Tim in that way. If I was going to date anyone, it would be you.
Oh, right, so you're...
Yes?
Well, if you thought you'd get anywhere with me on that front, sorry, but I'm not a lesbian and I've got my Tim.
Maybe you are and you've never found out. Something to think about, yes?
Are you trying to chat me up?
Just loosen up a bit, Hannah.
Oh, yes, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
Yes, I'll be honest with you, Hannah. I'd do anything to have a chance of a relationship with you. Anything at all.
I just know they're having an affair. I just know it. All that stuff she was saying about how there was no attraction there, etc., etc. The lady doth protest too much.
She does on Friday nights. Just because they went to hear some jazz together, it doesn't mean they're dating. You could have played gooseberry.
Yeah, but then I'd have to listen to the jazz.
This is a very basic mistake, Jessica. I really wouldn't have thought that someone with your credentials and a reference like yours would make such schoolgirl errors.
I'm sorry, Tim. I was distracted. It won't happen again, I promise.
Well, it had better not. Seriously, if anything gets into that journal that's wrong, it might be your doing, but I'll be the one that takes the fallout. OK, you can go now. Get some sleep and I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, Hannah.
Tim? She seemed upset.
Yeah, well, I told her off. Nicely, I think, but she made a really basic error and... Or maybe she was off her game. I'll give her another chance.
Don't risk your reputation. Get rid of her now.
I can't now. I said I'd give her another chance. I'm a man of my word.
Sorry, darling, but there's something about her I just don't trust. Call it feminine empathy. I just know there's something not quite right.
Well, I'll be careful.
I can't believe you roped me into this. I left Anya sitting at my desk and Tony's bound to notice.
No, he won't.
Morning, Karen.
Why do I have to come anyway?
So if she attacks me or anything, you can protect me.
Can't Tim do... Oh, of course he couldn't.
I'm sorry, Tim, but this isn't going to work. It's not you I want, it's Hannah.
What?
And she loves you too much to even give me a second look, which means there's only one thing to do.
OK, get off my lap and put that cushion down.
Sorry, Tim. It has to look like you died of natural causes.
Tim! Get off him, you bitch!
I checked the photo came out in the hall.
Bitch! Bitch!
Hannah, stop kicking her. She's out cold.
Karen!
The picture came out. Her on top of Tim with the cushion on his face.
I'll go next door and get the chief superintendent.
I'll handcuff her and put her on the couch.
Well, well. I can honestly say that since I moved in next to you, there aren't many dull days.
Thank you.
So, how about you tell me what's going on?
A few years ago, there was this programme, Office I. Hannah was the star, and from that moment, I became obsessed with her. I stalked her on Facebook, then found out about Tim, and then I was at the jazz club and I saw you both, and then I found out that Tim was looking for an assistant, and I thought I could get the job and then work on you.
You're a lesbian?
Yes! You and Tim were too close. Finally, I realised Tim had to go, and then you would finally come into my arms and we'd have a wonderful life together.
But how did you get the professor's reference? I rang him to check and he told me it was genuine.
He came round to my house a few months ago and asked to be dressed as a maid and tied to the bed. So I did it. I took a picture, he asked me to, and then when I found out he was connected to you, Tim, I told him if he didn't give me a reference, I'd send it to his wife. And they'd only just patched things up, so he didn't want that.
Oh my God, you're a prostitute?
Yes?
And a complete nutbag?
Well, with what you just told us and Karen's photograph, it seems pretty likely that you'll be facing a custodial sentence and perhaps some psychiatric help. My colleagues will be here to do the rest any minute, Hannah.
Oh my Tim, I nearly lost you.
Oh, I'd have been all right.
You couldn't punch your way out of a paper bag. But I love you.
I need a cup of tea.
Yes, put the kettle on.
Me? I was nearly killed, you know.
Oh no.
Would you like one, Malcolm, as I'm making?
Lovely.
You were right, Han. Tony didn't notice, or if he did, he didn't say anything.
Didn't you earlier, weren't you blonde?
No.
It's the workload. It's getting to me, I think.
What workload?
Yeah, he's gone, Han.
Oh no, it was a rhetorical question.
A real fatal attraction, who'd have thought it?
And it was all because she wanted me.
Glad your hunch took you home, or who knows what might have happened. Doesn't do thinking about.
I knew she was a nutbag from the first moment I met her.
Well, luckily for Tim, it takes one to know one.
Oh, shut up.
You've been listening to Sue Ford as Hannah, Robert Chantler as Tim, Caroline Palmer as Karen, Jeff Buckingham as Tony, Carrie Millinger as Jessica, and Robert Hardy as the Chief Inspector. Highly Strung Hannah was written and directed by Robert Chantler. The audience coordinator was Matt Richards and the producer was Victoria Lawrence.